All right, so I know I threw a little bit of a monkey wrench into the discussion this week with this question about career development theories. And I had to do some clarification that I wasn't necessarily advocating for career counseling interventions at the moment, although that might play a role more quickly than we can imagine based on the case. But what I was talking about was using theories outside of just regular counseling theories to help conceptualize, what Antonio was experiencing and what he was going through. Because theories, as you know, give us the why we do what we do. So the more that we can draw from in terms of how we view human behavior and human change and development, the more likely it is that we're able to develop accurate empathy for our clients and understand their complete life space. So given that in mind, some of the career theories that really came to mind to help me kind of understand what he was going through all really focused around this sense of identity. And as many of you commented, that certainly could be a pretty severe issue that Antonio was going through. And I know that not everyone in this course has had the career development course, and so obviously you couldn't necessarily comment on this. But let me just throw out a few. Donald Super's theory of career development um, is one of the big ones in our field and has been for many decades. But in terms of the stages of his theory, what I think Antonio may be experiencing based on this theoretical perspective is kind of a recycling back. My guess is that he was probably at the maintenance stage of his career where he had really established himself and he was just continuing to maintain the status and the place he was in his career. And now perhaps he's recycled all the way back to even the growth stage where he's trying to really kind of get a sense of what it is he can do, who he is as a worker. And so that can certainly be something that we can look at in terms of, how is he viewing himself in this role, and dropping back so many stages in terms of career development. Another kind of family of career development theories that I wanted to focus on was contextualism. And those theories really look at career development in terms of a person's construction of meaning. Basically, based on this perspective, contextualism, behavior is caused by the social context with which the behavior occurs, and reality is a matter of perception. So we can really kind of look at how has this crisis influenced him in terms of how he perceives himself as a worker, as a contributor to society, and as obviously a provider to his family. And finally, psychodynamic approaches to career development. Most of those theories are based on the work of Adler or Erickson. They typically look at life themes. So we might consider, how has Antonio's life themes, what are some of his life themes in terms of his career development, in terms of his personal development, and how might we be able to use those as identifying some strengths within him? How can we use some of those themes to help him through the crisis? Psychodynamic approaches to career also look at how the role of family influences career identity, and certainly he's probably experiencing that in terms of what his role has been in his family based on his career and his work, and now what is it? What is it now, and what can it be? So I hope that this is helpful in terms of being able to think a little bit outside of the box to conceptualize him in a different way.